Hello my yarny friends, I'm Sara Sach. Welcome back to my crochet channel. Now today's video I'm going to show you how to make our shimmering diamonds wrap shawl. It can also be what we call a super scarf because it is nice and wide. It's 18 inches wide and it's approximately 32 inches long. And that includes the fringe that we're going to put on each end of our wrap shawl or super scarf. It's a really simple pattern, and it just has these repeat rows with 3 diamond fillets or mesh stitch in the center. And the yarn we use is this gorgeous Premier Puzzle Shimmer. This is a bulky number 5 yarn. And if you want to use this particular yarn, my Premier yarn link, of course, is underneath this video, and you can just click that link. But we'll talk more about yarns later. This is a really simple and easy pattern, and I chose to go with this particular yarn because I just love the shimmer in it. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if you can see it in this. It has just a beautiful shimmer in it. Now you're going to find that this looks a little bit complicated, but it's really not. It's basically just repeat rows until it's the length that you want. And the fringe, of course, is optional. If you're not into fringe, don't put it on there. But I thought it was perfect on this wrap shawl. This would look lovely flopped over a chair or over your shoulders. It'd be great if you have a new Easter outfit or Easter dress, just to have a little bit of warmth, because I don't know about you, but when I go to restaurants or to church or just shopping, some of these places, when it starts warming up, they freeze us out. And it's nice to have a wrap shawl that's a little bit springy. And of course, that's up to the yarns that you choose to have with you. It's nice to even just throw it in the car in case you stop by a restaurant that you weren't expecting, or maybe the library. Libraries are always cold also. Probably need to take care of the books. Anywho, you can find the complete pattern with lots of pictures on my blog, and as always, I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. All right, let's talk more about the yarn. Now, like I said, the yarn that I used is the Premier Puzzle Shimmer. And if you're not into shimmer, the regular Premier Puzzle will work great, or any bulky number 5 yarn. All right, and you're going to need approximately 13 ounces or more if you want it longer, or if you want your fringe longer. Okay, so that's just a little less than 3 of these skeins of yarn. Now, the shimmer one is 98% acrylic, 2% polyester. Okay, and that's that shimmer thread that's going through it. I wish you could see the glitter in that a little better. That's okay. All right, so you can see it's a bulky number 5, and this color is called Trivia Shimmer. And they have quite a few others with shimmer in it. And you, like I said, you can use any bulky number 5 yarn for this. We're going to stitch it up with a J-hook, which is a 6mm. And then you need a pair of scissors and a needle. And you need to make sure you got a really good pair of scissors, because you got to cut a whole bunch of fringe, okay? So your little tiny scissors probably won't work. Go ahead and get in there and get your fabric scissors. It'll be okay to cut yarn, okay? All right, let's get started. We're going to begin with our slip knot, and we're going to loosely chain 49 chains. And it is important that you stitch this beginning chain just a little bit loose, because you don't want the end of your shawl to be all puckered up. Okay, so we're going to loosely chain 49 chains. So I have loosely chained 49 chains, and you'll notice I have some stitch markers on here. And so what I did is I chained 10 and I marked it with a stitch marker. I chained 10, marked it with a stitch marker, and I did that all the way to the 40th. So I had the 4 stitch markers, and then I chained 9 more. That way I don't have to keep recounting. All right, it's just something that I do to help me not have to count so much. All right, so we have 49 loosely chained chains. We're going to begin by placing a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. We don't count the loop on our hook, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and go through the second 2 loops. Of course, that's a double crochet, and so what we're going to do is stitch 1 double crochet in each of our chains, working all the way across our row. And take a look at it. Make sure as you go that it's not all puckered up or it's not too loose, because it all boils down to how this first row is laying will determine how the rest of the wrap shawl will lay. We want it to be nice and flat and pretty. So we're started in the 4th chain from the hook, and we're stitching 1 double crochet in each of our chains across. And remember, this chain 3 that we skipped at the beginning counts as our first double crochet. So we started in the 4th chain from the hook and then stitched 1 double crochet in each of our chains across. And see how nice and flat that's laying? If it's pulling in, your beginning chain was too tight, okay? Because we want this to lay nice and flat. All right, so now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. Now again, our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet on every row. And so what we're going to do is we're going to double crochet in the next 10 double crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a little bit fuzzy there, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so we stitched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then our chain 3 counted as 1, so we have 11 double crochets. We're going to chain 1, we're going to skip the next double crochet, and then double crochet in the next 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. We're going to chain 1, skip the next, and now we're going to repeat this 2 more times. So 1, oops, get in there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oops, there we go, and 11. All right, and see what we did? We have 11 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, 11 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, 11 double crochets. We're going to chain 1, skip the next, and then double crochet in the last 11 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And chain 3. All right. So we have 11 times 4, which is 44 double crochets, and we have 1, 2, 3 chain 1 spaces for row 2. Now we're ready for row 3. We've chained 3. We're going to turn our work. We're going to double crochet in the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so we stitched 8, but our chain 3 counted as 1, so we have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and double crochet in the next double crochet. We're going to chain 1, we'll skip that chain 1 space, and double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, skip the next, and double crochet in the next. All right, before we do any more, let's take a look at that. So now we went from 1 chain 1 space to 3 chain 1 spaces. So we have a double crochet here, and we're going to double crochet in the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that gives us 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and now we're going to repeat here what we did over here. So chain 1, skip the next, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip that chain 1 space, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and double crochet in the next. And then we'll double crochet in the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, that gives us 7 because we counted this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll just repeat what we did on these first 2 areas. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip that chain 1 space, and double crochet in the double crochet, chain 1, skip the next, and double crochet in the next. And now we're going to double crochet in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches. So we've got one here, and we're going to double crochet in the next 8. I should say the last 8. There we go. And chain 3. All right. So I pulled the camera out so you can see exactly how it's laying. All right. So we have 9 double crochets here at the beginning. We have our 3 chain 1 spaces, 7 double crochets, 3 chain 1 spaces, 7 double crochets, 3 chain 1 spaces, and then we end with 9 double crochets for row 3. Now we're ready for row 4. we chained our 3. We're going to turn our work. We're going to double crochet in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so our chain 3 again counted as our first, and we stitched 6, so we have 7 double crochets. Now we're going to do the chain 1, skip 1 for 5 times. So we're going to chain 1, skip the next, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, and double crochet in the next. All right, so let's take a look at that. So now we've gone from 1 to 3 to 5 chain 1 spaces. All right, we're going to double crochet in the next 2, and now we're going to repeat. Chain 1, skip the next, double crochet in the next for 5. So chain 1, skip, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip, double crochet in the next. All right, so now we have 5 again. See how our diamond's forming? All right, now we're going to double crochet in the next 2, 1 and 2, and then repeat. All right, and then we'll double crochet in those last 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and chain 3. All right, let's take a look at row 4. So our chain 3 counted as 1, and we stitched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which gave us 7, and then we have 5 chain 1 spaces. We have 3, and then 5, 3, and then 5, and then we ended with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because we had 1 there, and then we stitched 6 more. All right, and that's the way that your wrap shawl should look at row 4. Now for row 5, we're just going to repeat what we did on row 3. All right, so we're going to chain 3 and turn, and we're going to double crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and with this one here, that's 7. Now we're going to double crochet in the chain 1 space, then double crochet in the double crochet, then we'll chain 1, skip 1 3 times, then we'll double crochet in the chain 1 space, and then double crochet in these next 3, 1, 2, 3, then double crochet in the chain 1 space. And before we go farther, I just want to show you we've gone back to only having 3, like we did down here, of our chain 1 spaces. All right. All right, so we have those 3 chain 1 spaces, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like we did down here. We have 3 chain 1 spaces, and then we'll go in that double crochet, or that chain 1 space with a double crochet. We'll double crochet in those 3 double crochets. And again, double crochet in the chain 1 space. And then we'll chain 1, skip 1 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll double crochet in that chain 1 space, and then double crochet in those last stitches, which will end up being 9 double crochets. And chain 3. All right, so let's take a look at row 5. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just like we did down here. We have our 3 chain 1 spaces like we did down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like we did here. Our 3 chain 1 spaces, our 7, 3 chain 1 spaces, and then 9 double crochets on the end. All right? And that is how row 5 should look. So we've completed row 5, and now we're going to do row 6. Well, row 6 is exactly like row 2. All right, so we've chained 3. We're going to turn our work. We're going to double crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so we have our chain 3 and 10 stitches just like we did on row 2. Now we're going to chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet in the next. All right, we'll double crochet in that chain 1 space, and now we're going to double crochet in each of those double crochets, and you can see that leaves only 1 chain 1. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, and again we're going to stitch 11 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 double crochets. We're going to chain 1, skip 1, and finish the row with 11 double crochets. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And chain 3. So we have completed through row 6, and you can see that diamond in our stitches there in that mesh work also called filet. And it looks really pretty. So what we're going to do for row 7 is we're just going to do one solid row of double crochet all the way across, and we'll place one in those chain 1 spaces so it looks like row 1, just a solid row of double crochet. So what we're going to do for row 7, we've chained 3, returned our work, and we're going to stitch 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets across and 1 double crochet in each of those 3 chain 1 spaces. And this will give us a nice even row of double crochets across. And you need to make sure you have 47 double crochets, that you didn't accidentally add or subtract any stitches, because if you did, your diamond pattern will not work out. All right. So 1 double crochet in those 3 chain 1 spaces and 1 double crochet in all the double crochets. And this will give us a nice even row of double crochets across. So this is how your wrap shawl should look at your 7th row. And you can see those diamonds and how it's supposed to lay. You may notice a little bit of curviness. That's okay. Doesn't matter a bit. And we're going to be adding a fringe on there also, if you want to. And I'll show you how to do that in just a few minutes. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to continue to repeat row 2 through row 7 for 10 more times, or more if you want a longer wrap shawl. All right, so you'll repeat row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, row 7, 10 more times. And that will give you 11 repeats. And again, if you want your shawl to be longer, you can do more repeats. All right, so repeat row 2 through row 7 10 more times. So here is my completed wrap shawl. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 repeats. And this end I already have the fringe on. All right, so I'm going to show you how to put the fringe on the other end. And remember, if you want your shawl longer, do more repeats. So to make the fringe on your shawl, you're going to need to cut 54 strands. That's 27 for each end, okay? And you're going to want to cut your strands about 16 inches long. Now that makes a nice long fringe. If you want your fringe longer, cut your strands longer. If you want them shorter, cut them shorter, all right? And so what you're going to do is, I've already got some cut here. It's really simple. You're going to go at each of your stitches, fold it in half, pull it in, and whip them through, just like that. Okay, and it can be random. It can be however the colors fall. I just cut a bunch and I'm just doing them at random, all right? Because it doesn't matter to me which color goes where. Now, I only cut 54, but if you feel like you need to add 1 or 2 more in there to fill it up, you certainly can. It's totally up to you how you want to do your fringe, or if you want to do fringe at all. All right, and that's just how easy it is to put the fringe on. You fold it in half, go through the stitch, pull up a loop, grab that fringe and pull it through. All right, and I'll be honest with you, I have not trimmed either end. They're of course, this end, of course, I haven't trimmed because I haven't got it on. But the other end, I didn't even trim it yet because I kind of like them when they're not perfect. when they're, you know, some strands are a little shorter than others and they're just sort of random in there. I like that. All right, so I'm just going to go along and finish putting the fringe on this side. And again, the fringe is optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. So now I have all the fringe on this side and then this side as well. And I do think I'm going to go ahead and trim this one because some of them are a little bit too long. So I'll just take my scissors and, you know, trim off all those random ones that are just a little bit too long across and tidy that up. But my wrap shawl is now completely finished and I absolutely love it. And I love the fringe. And I think it's perfect for this wrap shawl. All right. So that's our Shimmering Diamonds wrap shawl.